Have you ever stopped to think whether the pain you feel is inevitable or if, in some way, you're creating your own suffering? We all face challenges and difficult moments, but the way we deal with them can make all the difference between experiencing clean pain, natural and healthy, or dirty pain, which unnecessarily prolongs and intensifies suffering. In this video, we'll explore the differences between these two types of pain and how we can learn to process our emotions better, reducing self-inflicted suffering. If you want to discover how to take control of your emotions and live more lightly, keep watching. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like for more content like this. Let's dive into how we can transform pain into learning and growth. Not all pain is the same, and understanding this difference can completely change the way we handle life's challenges. Clean pain comes from inevitable situations, such as losing a loved one, the end of a chapter, or a period of transition. It's a natural pain that helps us process difficult experiences, grow, and move forward. Feeling sadness, grief, or frustration is part of the human journey. On the other hand, dirty pain is the kind we create through negative thoughts and harmful patterns. When we dwell on the past, blame ourselves excessively, or hold on to resentment, we're adding unnecessary suffering to our experience. This type of pain doesn't come from reality itself, but from how we interpret and react to it. For example, imagine you made a mistake at work. Clean pain would be the initial discomfort and the lessons learned from the experience. Dirty pain, however, appears when you repeatedly blame yourself, feel incapable, and keep replaying the situation in your mind without moving on. Knowing how to identify whether we're experiencing clean or dirty pain is essential for developing a healthier relationship with our emotions. Accepting clean pain allows us to process it constructively, while recognizing dirty pain gives us the opportunity to change thought patterns that only amplify suffering. Often, we are our own worst enemies when it comes to emotional suffering. We create unnecessary pain through destructive thought patterns that trap us in cycles of distress and self-sabotage. One of the main factors that fuel dirty pain is excessive self-criticism, that inner voice that constantly judges us and reminds us of our flaws, making us feel inadequate. Another common factor is the tendency to blame others or ourselves in an unproductive way. Instead of analyzing a situation with maturity and learning from it, we get stuck in a cycle of resentment and self-punishment. This prevents us from moving forward and finding real solutions to our problems. Additionally, constant comparison with others can be a major trigger for suffering. When we measure ourselves against the unrealistic standards of social media or external expectations, we create a continuous sense of dissatisfaction, believing we're never good enough. Another behavior that fuels dirty pain is victimhood and avoiding responsibility. When we believe everything is beyond our control, we become prisoners of our circumstances, failing to realize that we have more power than we think to change our reality. To break this cycle of self-inflicted suffering, it's essential to develop awareness of our thought patterns. Recognizing when we're falling into these mental traps is the first step toward a more balanced emotional life. Even though we know that we often create our own pain, changing these patterns isn't easy. There are mental barriers that prevent us from breaking free from this cycle and taking the first steps toward a healthier emotional life. One of the biggest barriers is the presence of limiting beliefs. Those ideas we accept as absolute truths, but that, in reality, hold us back from evolving. Thoughts like, "This is just how I am," "I'll never change," or "I can't handle this," keep us trapped in a painful comfort zone. Another common obstacle is resistance to self-awareness. Many people avoid looking within because they fear what they might discover. Facing our vulnerabilities takes courage, but it's the only way to understand and transform dirty pain into learning. Avoiding this introspection keeps us stuck in the same mistakes and suffering the same pains. Refusing to take responsibility for what is within our control is also a major barrier. When we attribute our problems solely to external factors, such as other people, society, or fate, we lose the opportunity to take action and transform our reality. Focusing only on what's beyond our control, leads to frustration and helplessness. Additionally, the need for excessive control can be a trap. When we try to control everything and everyone around us, we inevitably face frustration, as many things are beyond our reach. This creates anxiety and unnecessary suffering. To overcome these mental barriers, it's essential to adopt a more flexible and open mindset, understanding that change is a gradual process and that small progress is just as valuable helps us move forward. Fortunately, there are effective ways to reduce emotional suffering and better cope with life's challenges. The first strategy is to take responsibility only for what is within our reach. We often suffer because we try to control situations or people that are beyond our power. By focusing on what we can truly change, our thoughts, actions, and reactions, we gain greater clarity and peace of mind. Another powerful tool is cognitive restructuring, a technique widely used in psychology to identify and modify negative thought patterns. When we catch ourselves thinking, "I'll never succeed" or "I'm not good enough," we can replace these thoughts with more realistic and constructive beliefs, such as "I can improve with effort" or "mistakes are part of learning." Mindfulness is also a valuable ally. It helps us stay present without getting stuck in past regrets or future anxieties. Practicing conscious breathing, non-judgmental observation, and daily gratitude are practical ways to bring more emotional balance into our daily lives. Developing a growth mindset is another essential strategy. Instead of seeing challenges as insurmountable obstacles, we can view them as opportunities for learning and growth. Taking consistent small steps, setting realistic goals, and celebrating each achievement strengthen emotional resilience and help reduce dirty pain. Additionally, engaging in proactive behaviors, such as taking care of physical health, investing in healthy relationships, and seeking professional support when needed, is crucial for alleviating emotional suffering. By applying these strategies, we can transform how we deal with difficulties and become better equipped to face life's challenges with more ease and balance. When we don't manage our emotions well, the impact can be profound across various areas of our lives. One of the first signs of poor emotional management appears in our relationships. Dirty pain leads us to make wrong assumptions, react impulsively, and misinterpret others' actions. Small conflicts can escalate into major misunderstandings when we fail to control our thoughts and reactions. Furthermore, chronic stress caused by the accumulation of negative emotions can severely affect physical and mental health. Studies show that prolonged stress can increase cortisol levels in the body, weakening the immune system, raising blood pressure, and increasing the risk of heart disease and digestive problems. Not to mention the impact on sleep quality, which is essential for overall well-being. Another consequence of poor emotional management is the loss of opportunities. When emotions like fear, insecurity, and self-criticism take over, we often hesitate to try new things, seek new experiences, or pursue our dreams. Procrastination and analysis paralysis are common symptoms of struggling with emotions such as anxiety and frustration. It's also important to recognize that unmanaged emotions can affect our self-esteem and worldview. When we cultivate negative thoughts and dwell on problems without seeking solutions, we tend to see life more pessimistically and believe challenges are greater than they actually are. The good news is that by developing emotional skills and learning to differentiate between clean and dirty pain, we can reverse these impacts and build a healthier, more balanced life. Self-compassion is a powerful tool for dealing with pain in a healthy way and avoiding unnecessary suffering. Often, we are too hard on ourselves, treating ourselves with a rigidity we would never apply to a friend or loved one. However, learning to be kind to yourself is essential for facing difficult moments with greater balance and resilience. Being kind to yourself means recognizing that making mistakes is part of the human experience and that we don't need to be perfect all the time. Self-compassion helps us replace destructive self-criticism with a more understanding and encouraging approach. Instead of thinking, "I always mess up, there's no hope for me," we can adopt a more positive mindset such as, "I'm learning and I can improve." Another important aspect of self-compassion is avoiding perfectionism. The constant pursuit of flawless results can create an unbearable emotional burden, increasing anxiety and fear of failure. Accepting that we are imperfect beings and that life is a learning process helps reduce dirty pain and allows us to focus on progress rather than perfection. Additionally, recognizing the need for help is an act of self-compassion. Many times, we try to face everything alone out of fear of appearing weak, but seeking emotional support, whether from friends, family, or professionals, is a sign of strength and self-care. Sharing our feelings with those we trust can lighten the emotional load and provide new perspectives on the challenges we face. Practicing self-compassion doesn't mean becoming complacent or avoiding responsibility. Rather, it's about finding a healthy balance between self-acceptance and personal growth. When we treat ourselves with more kindness, we gain the strength to face difficulties and move forward with greater ease. Taking personal responsibility is one of the most important steps in reducing dirty pain and living more lightly. However, it's essential to find the balance between taking control of our lives and recognizing that not everything is within our reach. Many people confuse responsibility with guilt, carrying an unnecessary emotional burden for things beyond their control. Personal responsibility means acknowledging that our choices, attitudes, and thoughts shape our reality. Instead of blaming external factors or other people for our problems, we can take a more conscious and proactive approach, seeking solutions and growth. For example, instead of thinking, "I can't change my situation because the world is unfair," we can ask, "What can I do now to improve the situation?" However, this pursuit of growth should not lead to self-sabotage. It's important to accept our limits and understand that change happens gradually. Small daily steps, such as developing new habits, adjusting expectations, and practicing patience with ourselves, can have a significant impact over time. Another key point is avoiding the trap of excessive responsibility. Many times, we take on problems that aren't ours or try to solve everything alone, leading to emotional exhaustion. Learning to delegate, ask for help, and set healthy boundaries are fundamental actions for maintaining a balance between responsibility and self-care. True transformation occurs when we can accept our imperfections, learn from mistakes, and move forward with determination. By adopting a more conscious and balanced mindset, we can reduce dirty pain and turn challenges into opportunities for growth. We've reached the end of this content, and I hope you now understand the difference between clean pain and dirty pain, and how, many times, we create our own suffering. We've learned that accepting life's natural pains is essential for growth, while identifying and transforming negative thought patterns can significantly reduce unnecessary suffering. Remember that small daily changes, such as cultivating self-compassion, taking responsibility for what's within your control, and developing a growth mindset, can make a huge difference in your quality of life. Don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself the time you need to grow. If this video resonated with you, like, comment, and share it with someone who could also benefit from this content. Subscribe to the channel for more tips on mental health and well-being. Together, we can build a lighter and more conscious life. See you in the next video.